WIAX, the future of radio and podcast. No limit to what we do.
Mel, celebrity vocal coach right here, and I am a part of Give It Life.
And ratchet, we
And
bringing
real extra ratchet, raunchy.
That'll be everywhere, like.
Those shops is upstairs, so we out here by Austin, man.
This nigga got hit to walk off the set.
We leave that up to Vito.
Yes, sir. To the left of me, we got Big Vern in the house. You know what I mean? To the right of me, we got Manny. And Big Al, shout out, always on the boards, doing this thing. I'm the one and only A.PODMAN. Welcome back to New World, Old Views. We here, baby. We here. So, let's get this out the way. Let's give the congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs, man. Yeah, man. Let's do it, man. Patty Mahomes, man. He looking like he's a new golden boy. His second chip in like 3 years, 4 years, somewhere around there, man. So Kansas City is looking like they there to stay, man.
Even though they lost, though, Jalen Hurts played very good.
Oh, absolutely,
he played very good that game.
Absolutely, man. I want to give a congratulations out to the Philadelphia Eagles for getting there and doing that thing.
Very close game.
Yeah, very close game. It was great.
It was a BS call at the end, though.
No, sir. See, I knew you were going to start your nonsense. But I just want to say thank to the higher power that Philadelphia didn't win. That way I ain't have to hear any Philadelphia Eagle fans running amok out here, you know what I mean, and talking trash to any of us. But
that call wasn't. What I'm saying, when it's the last minute like that in the game, it's a last minute. We talk about last minutes or seconds. Unless something is like outright and it's so obvious, I get it. But I don't like the fact that referees can decide outcomes because that game was going into overtime. That's what I'm saying. That game was going into overtime.
First off, they could have kicked the field goal. What are you talking about? I believe they were in field goal range, number one. Number two, Village, please pray for them.
Before that call.
Not before the call, it wasn't.
Not necessarily. But
it wasn't a field goal.
They could have.
They weren't at the 30-something yard line. I mean, that kicker missed a field goal earlier, but
yeah. I don't.
Let me just say this. Please pray for this man because he's just
stop it. All I'm just saying is last minutes like that.
No,
just let them boys.
No,
the Super Bowl.
No,
a referee dictates the outcome of the game.
See, he doesn't get it though because now we always want to hold referees to a certain standard. This call should have been made. That call should have been made. Now all of a sudden. He doesn't want the call to be made at the most impactful time when he did do it. We saw the replay and the player. What you say? The player said it himself. What you going to argue about? So the call shouldn't be made now.
No, I'm not disputing that. You not get what I'm saying. I'm not saying that he did it. That the call wasn't necessary. It didn't happen. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, at that point. Just let him play.
So was it necessary or not?
No, he should. I wouldn't have called it. I'd let him go into overtime. Let him go into overtime. Let them go into overtime.
Yo, thank God you're not an official, bro.
Let them go into overtime.
No. First off, I have this conversation all the time with people.
Officials dictate the outcome of the game.
Yes, that's their job.
The team don't.
That's their job.
Officials do.
No, not when there's a foul on the play. Not when there's a call on the play.
Bro. How many minutes was
I don't give a damn how much time is left.
How much?
You do your job.
Stop
What you get paid to do.
I see both sides.
Come on,
Knock it off,
I
man.
mean,
you don't wait because there's short amount of time on it.
Let them play. Something like that. Let them play.
I see both sides.
It's not. They didn't throw. It's not something like that required a flag that it was just so egregious against the game. You had to call it. It wasn't like that, bro.
The Super Bowl was on the line.
Let them play. Exactly.
Say what you gotta say, man. Say what you gotta say, man.
I think everybody watching that game would have loved to see it going overtime. So I understand it from that perspective, but the ref does have a job.
Right. And both what they want.
And the ref decided the outcome.
Absolutely. That's his job.
Not to decide outcomes, bro. No, it's not.
If there's a call to be made, yes, it is.
Now when it decides an outcome of a
get
game,
out of here.
leave that, man.
Because
leave
then,
that alone.
if the call wasn't made and then something else happened, they would have said,
you come up with woulda, coulda, shoulda. If that call was not made, they'd have went to overtime, and then we could have seen what happened from there.
No, but what if there were another call that should have been made, and that's different, though. Now it's different. You see what I'm saying? So you saying
how many minutes is in overtime? Are you 5 minutes?
No, it's 15 minutes.
It's 15 minutes.
And it's whoever scores first. It doesn't go back.
Hold on.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
You're saying let's just do it to get into overtime now. So you just wanted a longer game? Is that what you're saying?
No, they tied. And both teams was playing good. It was a close game. We
Right.
didn't know who was going to win before that damn call. We had no clue who was going to win. The game was competitive and it was close.
So don't hold.
Huh?
Play. Don't hold.
Oh, come on.
So we're supposed to take.
Oh my God, bro.
So we supposed to let that rock. Let the incomplete pass be because he got held.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah, exactly, man. Knock it off,
man. They dictated the outcome. It's not a referee's job.
Good job,
it is
bro.
what it is.
That's
it is what it is.
Hold on.
Not to dictate an outcome.
I would say good job, but I mean, I guess I give both sides. I give both sides.
Is it not the ref's job to dictate the game in regards to if a call has to be made? Whose job is it to make?
But we won't act like we're not gonna sit here and act like refs haven't overlooked calls.
We're not disputing that.
So I mean,
but like I said, when they get it right, do they deserve their praise?
In that scenario, he could have. Like I said, I understand both sides.
He deserves his praise, man.
I'm not. No, he don't deserve no praise.
He deserves praise for doing a good job and making a proper call.
He made the call. He made the call. We don't deserve no praise.
Absolutely, because they get criticism when they don't make the call. So you made it at a time that you knew would be detrimental towards the game, and you knew that there will be some sort of backlash. But it's the right call, and even the player himself said that.
It was any other game that
would. Why wouldn't we? Then why wouldn't we give it to him? Because imagine the other outcome: the Eagles went, and the cornerback says, "Yeah, I did hold him. We got to eat that." No, let him make the right call. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. How'd y'all feel about that? How'd y'all feel about that halftime show? Did you see it?
Was all right. I mean, it wasn't bad. It was all right.
Straightforward.
It wasn't too bad.
I felt like it's just kind of limited to what she could do because obviously it looks like she's pregnant again.
So she could do but so much.
Shout out ASAP. I believe he's still with her, right? So
he was there. He was filming on the sideline. On the side of the stage.
Putting some babies in there. It's time to grown man business, man. It's time to build that family up, man. Can't knock them, man. I think the show was cool. I think the halftime show was cool. That wasn't bad. Cowboys next year, we them boys.
Yeah,
Wiz, I hear you, man. Give it up, man. Give it up.
What's going on?
What's going on, Wiz? Appreciate you, man. We need you up here sometime, man. We need you up here sometime. True. Thank you. Shout out to you, Todd. Bad call? So this is how y'all gonna do me though, right? So I'm the outcast on here, right? I'm the one that gets okay, y'all got it. Y'all got it. I just know that thank God you not a ref. They got, you know what I mean? If the ref is there, let them do their job. We
all have that close.
Yes, it is. That's the most important part of the game, man.
Just like I said, it's a strong violation.
He grabbed him with the right arm, and held him. He couldn't get off him. but you used to that. You like that. You like the same stuff in basketball. So I'm not surprised.
And you like the cupcake basketball league.
No,
So
I like the new
when
age.
you sneeze on a player to foul.
No. I like the new age being able to actually move your feet and utilize help defense.
And
that's what I like.
You can play no D.
No, you can touch them.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can. See,
Nah, this day and age.
No. See, y'all gotta understand. Y'all don't play basketball like that. Y'all don't play. Listen, when the offensive player is coming towards you, you have the right to impede their progress with your body. You have to move in front of them. You know what I'm saying? In front of them. Now, they're not going to allow you to do all of this and touch and stuff like that, but it is what it is.
These offensive numbers are all inflated.
I hear you.
You can't touch. You got 7 guys averaging over 30. You ain't never had that before ever. There's 7 players averaging over 30.
I can't say that for sure. That we never had.
You never. No, you have not. Top 10
scoring,
and you have 7 of them averaging over 30, bro? No, you haven't. There was a time when
Rick Barry was averaging like 40-something. So I will have to check and see.
Not 7 out of 10.
I said I will have to check and see,
I'm telling you, bro. That's not happening.
Listen.
We've never had that.
We haven't had in this new age somebody averaging 40. So it is what it is. That back in the day, some people would average 45 in a season.
You talk back in the 60s, bro. And that was one person.
I think that was 70. Well, either way. How much did Jerry West average in the 70s?
It wasn't none of that. He averaged like 38 in the finals.
He never averaged like 40 in a season?
For losing. No.
Okay, all right. Cool. All right. We're gonna switch gears because this guy's out his rabbit mind. Well, listen, man, I know you wanted to talk about that train derailment in Ohio.
Yeah, man, that's
it happened about a week ago, right? Or 2 weeks ago? It was a couple of days ago.
But it's still relatively recent.
Right, because I know it was in East. It was over by East Palestine, Ohio. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But what's interesting about it, though, is that so far in 2023, there's been over a dozen train derailments. Over a dozen train derailments in 2023, all carrying hazardous materials. On February 16th, there was a train derailment outside of Detroit, Michigan, carrying hazardous materials. It was in VERGNE Township. Then in Newsweek did a report. There was also 3 train derailments in South Carolina alone this year, in an area called Lake City on January 9th, in the area called Loris on January 21st, and another area called Enery on February 12th. As well as 2 other derailments in rural California, one in metropolitan Detroit and Philadelphia, and there was derailments in Alabama, Alaska, Louisiana, and Texas, all carrying hazardous materials.
So, just a question. Sorry to cut you. Were the effects as bad as this one in Ohio, or this one is just getting more?
This one is just getting more.
You can literally see the black smoke from the stratosphere. Like it's
peace,
crazy.
Tyrone. Peace, man. Thank you, brother,
for
tuning
tuning
in, man. We appreciate you, man. Yes, sir. We just kicking it, talking about this derailment,
this
train derailments, man.
Does not seem right about it at all. And then over a dozen in 2023 now. We've never had this problem before, and all of these train derailments are all derailing with hazardous material.
And we only in February.
And we only exactly. And then what was interesting, the government authorized the train in Ohio and East Palestine to burn the hazardous material. But when I think it's something how you pronounce chlorified, one of those kind of medical substances, chemical substances. Excuse me. When you burn it, it creates dioxins in the air, and that is extremely harmful. This is why all the animals and the livestock are dying out there. There's a video of a lady taking a rock, throwing it in a big lake, and the water just dropping the rock. It looked like some kind of chemical waste is in the water, and that's just from the air.
I've heard of how stuff like that can happen.
And then also too, Ohio is the second biggest producer.
Sorry to cut you. Tyrone said he thinks there's more to it.
Absolutely.
Ways to replace the human.
Absolutely. And what was it, Manny?
So Ohio is the second most egg production in the nation. A lot of states get their eggs shipped from Ohio, so that's something to consider. I think definitely think about shopping locally for a little while when it comes to like produce and livestock, because That's crazy. Like I said, you can see the smoke from the stratosphere.
that's-
That's just getting in the air. That's
Right.
not you can't really contain that.
And
So
the
that's-
wind can take it. They were saying it can take it
yeah, it
throughout
could go
Pennsylvania.
anywhere.
It can
Yeah,
hit New York.
They take
yeah.
you other
It's
places, right.
that is, and I don't think the media. Nobody's talking about the dioxin and that effect on the environment and people. The media is not talking about that at all.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
At
Good.
all.
Yes, it is crazy, Tom. It is crazy because when I was also reading up on it, I was doing some research. I think the Hamners out of Ohio, like over by the East Palestine area, it happened like not too far from their company, their trucking company. So they were saying that they were at a huge disadvantage and they lost a lot of customers that they usually would have. And they said that they were probably gonna pack up and move due to this because they're still enduring the effects of it at this moment.
Anytime, yeah. Oh, okay, finish.
No. I was saying that's just pretty much it, and they feel they're worried about possible other residents in that whole township, that whole area.
Yeah, I was gonna say, anytime something's airborne like that, the chances of containing it is very little, unless they would have to set like a quarantine basically on that whole area. And obviously there'll be things that will come with that. But if you see, there's a picture of it from space. It literally looks like a bomb went off.
Yeah.
Like how
Atomic
much
bomb, yeah.
the toxins are in the
It's
air.
a massive black
It's like
cloud
a
that
massive
you can
black
see from
cloud.
Space.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. So then, with that being said, let's say if with the quarantine or whatever, that's not even safe to quarantine. You have to fund them being moved out, shipped out to another area. That's not safe. Do you know, like when the atomic bomb was dropped? Do you know the residual effects that occurred for like ages,
Hundreds
like
of years.
Decades.
Children were being born with crazy defects.
Yeah.
So, like you said, if we don't know what these types of hazardous chemicals and things that are on those trains, they have to try to move them out as soon as possible.
How could it be over a dozen train derailments, all having hazardous material?
That's why Ty said that. See, and
Absolutely.
we didn't even know it, and that's why Ty said he thinks there's more to it. Because if they see, I didn't even know that. I didn't know that there were that many derailments throughout the country. Throughout. Come on, like you said, we're February, and you said this is all in 2023.
All 2023.
All
those derailments.
So between January and February, we've had all of these derailments.
Yes, all with hazardous material.
That's sickening, man. That's sickening.
You're gonna see that effect in a lot of livestock and through anything that's farm grown or just comes from a farm. That's
so basically, well, I don't know what it basically suburban or rural basic area. Because obviously that you can't really have a train derailment like in a big city. That'd just be
mostly I'm guessing like countryside.
Right.
Right.
All of these train derailments, all of them have hazardous materials. All of them. This hasn't happened before. We hadn't had no train derailments last year or the year before with hazardous materials. All of a sudden now in 2023, this just happening in mass numbers like this.
And then shout out to Ty for saying like the aid was declined.
You can't be surprised with Biden. Biden is trash.
No, hold on. But you got to take care of the people.
I was going to say that's interesting to me that he would decline aid for that, but had no problem sending billions to Ukraine, and that has nothing to do with it.
Well, I have an explanation behind that.
But I mean, we're quick to help other European nations.
And we'll go even further than that. He not only sent billions to Ukraine, he's giving, he's allowing Ukrainians to come to America, get Social Security, collect a check. They pay no taxes. They're not from here, and they can come here and get the benefits of what American citizens should be entitled to. And yet he has done nothing for the black community. Absolutely nothing. And you're giving billions out to another country. It's almost, 20, 30, 40, I think 60 billion they gave to the Ukraine?
Yeah. And somebody was telling me, I believe it was, I don't remember if it was, I believe it was fighter jets. It was a specific fighter jets that the American government is allowing Ukrainian soldiers to use. They've never done that for any other country in history. And anyway, they've never lent fighter jets to another country in American history.
It is a big problem, Ty.
And they're giving it to
It
Ukraine.
is a big problem.
That's crazy.
And now, what's interesting, I'm pretty sure you guys heard about that earthquake in Turkey.
In Turkey, yeah.
Now,
I think they have some crazy like big holes, like
Yeah.
as if it's almost.
now what's interesting, though, check this out, though. What's interesting with Turkey is that if you look at Turkey on the map, it's nothing but gas and pipelines throughout the country.
Mm-hmm.
In there. Now, one of the earthquake that just happened killed over 33,000 people.
Or they still try. They
Yeah.
still like
finding people.
Yeah, still finding people.
Yeah.
11
Yeah.
days after.
Yeah.
What's interesting
11
though,
days after.
is that the senator from Romania, her name is Diana Lovanovsky, she spoke at the Romanian parliament. And she is accusing, she is saying that HARP was utilized to instigate the earthquake in Turkey. She spoke out about this exclusively. And the reason why is because of this. Within NATO, Turkey is the second strongest military power within NATO. NATO, the president of Turkey, I think it's President Erdogan, they wanted him to use his military power and take it to the borders of Russia. He says he's not doing that. He's being neutral in the conflict between Russia and the Ukraine. Because he's not utilizing his military power to go in and initiate a World War III with Russia and push us in that direction, his allies, according to the Romanian Senator Diana Lovanovsky, the allies are now turning on him because he won't utilize his military power to initiate World War III with Russia, because that's what they want. That's what the different countries within NATO actually want with America. They want us to go to war with Russia. He's not initiating that. So because of that, his country was targeted with HARP to initiate. HARP is high frequency active auroral research program. It researches the ionosphere. What they do is they shoot energy into the ionosphere, and you can cause floods, tsunamis. You can cause terrain here.
HARP, yeah.
You can disrupt the tectonic plates and cause an earthquake. Like, for example, that earthquake in Haiti a few years back.
2008, I believe.
It was 2012.
Oh, that one. There was an original one. Yeah.
If you look back, Haiti was destroyed, but DR wasn't touched. And Haiti and DR on the same landmass. Same landmass. But Haiti was destroyed, but DR wasn't touched at all. So according to this senator from Romania, she's coming out. It was all on Twitter. So she's speaking out extensively about this, talking about it. It was interesting. Another thing, for those that be like, oh, you being a conspiracy theorist and all of this, because you know how people want to.
You can look this stuff up, though.
No, I want you guys to think about this. 10 seconds before the earthquake in Turkey, the Turks closed their pipelines. 24 hours before the earthquake in Turkey, 10 countries withdrew all their ambassadors. 5 days before the earthquake, the Romanian Minister of Foreign Affairs issued a travel warning for Romanian citizens in Turkey.
5 days before.
5 days before.
So let me ask you this: where did you get this information so that people could look this up and be aware of
There's a site. You could go on Google. This was Newsweek. Newsweek was talking about this. Newsweek was
just so that the village and the
yeah.
community has an idea and how they can
man. Like there's a lot of information that's out here regarding this. It's crazy. That whole thing with Turkey is nuts. And like I said, this is not this lady. She holds a lot of power within the Romanian parliament out there in Romania, and she is going and she is saying this is sickening what they are trying to do. They're trying to bully the president of Turkey because he will not use. Remember, again, Turkey is the second strongest military country in NATO.
Gotcha.
Their military power is the second strongest.
But do they think? Does he think that they can win?
The thing is, he doesn't want to.
He doesn't want the conflict.
He's trying to stay
That's all. But what I'm saying is, maybe he just doesn't want a war, an all-out war. You get what I'm saying? He fears the possibility of what could occur.
The Secret Service in Turkey is investigating criminal intervention in the chain reaction events that destabilize the tectonic plates in the region in Turkey. The Secret Service of Turkey is investigating.
Oh, the Secret Service in Turkey.
Gotcha. Listen,
there's a lot, man. It's a
lot
going on.
NATO is really pushing for this war with Russia. If you following it, they're doing, like I said, they're doing things they've never done before. They're sending weapons to U.S. military has never given up access to fighter jets and tanks to another country. They're
Right.
sending artillery, all kinds of weapons over to Ukraine. They've never done it, even when they've had allies in world wars. They've never sent that kind of artillery over to another country. They're really pushing for this war with Russia, and if it happens, a lot's going to get involved because you have to realize Russia is allied with North Korea and China, so they drag them, and you're looking at another world war.
And Russia must have tons of goods that NATO wants to get involved in.
Excuse me, not China. They're allied with North Korea. U.S. Works with China,
Yeah,
but North Korea is allied with Russia.
Yeah, so
I mean, you know what it is with America? Anytime a country is developing its weaponry to protect itself, it's deemed a threat. The reason why North Korea has always been portrayed as a dictator type country is because they have nuclear weapons. They don't have a central bank that the United States has implemented and is able to control the currency over there. See, the U.S. always wants to go. This is why the United States has almost 700 bases throughout the world. They go into a country, take over, and create a base there. Implement a central bank, and then utilize and then control the currency. Put out loans that they know that those countries won't be able to pay back, and they neutralize any political progress that country can have, so it will not become a threat to them. They couldn't do that with North Korea. North Korea got just as much nuclear weaponry as we have, and North Korea said, "You come over here, we're gonna drop something on your ass. Don't come near us." See, that's why the United States don't like her. That's one of the issues why the United States don't rock with Russia, because Russia won't agree to your global totalitarianism type of mindset.
well, that's anything in life. That's whether it's a small scale or a large scale, such as that. If I'm not in your specific circle, you're not down. All right, you against me.
Yeah.
Right? So that's basically, I'm guessing that's the gist of what you're saying. You're saying U.S. doesn't like it because you don't want to get down with how we set up shop and how we do things. All right, so you're against us. You're an enemy to us. But like you said, they have enough. They have enough to withstand any type of attack that you're gonna implement. So it's basically a standoff.
Just think about what we're talking. Do we not see the condition of America as bad as goes back to what I always say? I know everybody hated him. They talked about him. His rhetoric might have been a bit abrasive. His rhetoric might have been abrasive. His rhetoric might have been a little rough, abrasive, hard for people to swallow some of the things he said.
Everything you need that, though. I think you need that.
I don't always agree. I agree. Absolutely, you need that. But there was order. We didn't have this. We on the inflation is at the highest it's been in over 40 years. Unemployment. We're on the verge of a global nuclear world war. A nuclear world war. We're on the verge of that. The country is in disarray right now. Train derailments all over. We didn't have none of this stuff, under Trump. We did it. Biden got in and literally destroyed the country, implemented mandates, caused millions of people to lose their jobs, and just disrupted the whole flow of things. Unemployment, inflation skyrocketed. If you look at since that man came in office in January of 2021 to right now, look at what's happened in 2 years of him being there. 2 years. We had none of this under Trump. None of this.
Remember,
he ain't perfect, but if you're going to choose the lesser of two evils, goddamn, give me Donald Trump any day.
Towards the end of Obama's run, remember they were still even back then talking about North Korea like as if we were on the brink of war and war was about to pop off. And as soon as Trump came into office, he went over there and delegated with Kim Jong-un.
No problem.
Just
because he knows how to. He's a businessman, number one. So he knows how to negotiate. He knows how to react and how to speak with tact and stuff like that. He may be, like you said, whether you want to use the word brash or like you said, abrasive, whatever, but sometimes that's how you have to get things done.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? The wise Yoda just said that he's a perfectionist. That's the way you have to run things. Sometimes I'm gonna tell you things that you don't like, but you know what? In the long run, it's gonna make you step up your game and realize what's what. All of that soft, that's.
What they say,
I agree.
We're not supposed to always agree with what somebody says.
It shouldn't be a popularity contest.
And that's what I'm saying.
Whether your policies benefits the country.
Exactly.
What happens is that we always fall prey to worrying about the messenger rather than the message. some people will just say, "Oh, that's the messenger." I don't want to hear anything that this person has to say.
Exactly.
So their message just will not resonate with me at all.
Biden passing laws attacking our children with this transgender nonsense.
Oh,
Kids
here
now.
you go again.
Come on, bro. I'm just
Don't
saying.
start with
This
your
is all
stuff.
happening under his presidency.
Listen,
That's all I'm saying.
I'm gonna save you from yourself right now.
How?
That's so. You already know what's been going on. You've been hearing about these UFO sightings now,
Me personally, I think those are staged.
or UAPs.
I think those are all staged. All of a sudden now, there's UFO sightings everywhere now. Just think.
Why would they
it
be
just
so open
happened.
about it?
Huh?
And I said, why would they be so? Why would the government just start so suddenly just being open with UFO sightings?
Things is not adding up. They've been keeping things like this hidden, never talked about it for decades. All of a sudden now, UFOs are just popping up out the sky. Everywhere now, they're just popping up.
So what do you think is the underlying issue behind
I'm
this?
thinking they're staging something. First of all, you got to look up Project Bluebeam. And that's nuts because with Project Bluebeam, you can create holographic images in the sky to make it look real. They have that in Rome, and it's called Lucifer. Interestingly, one of the Bluebeam satellites. It's called Lucifer, and they've been talking about stuff like this for decades, where they could literally fake a Christ return in the sky. With that kind of technology, they could make it look like Jesus Christ is coming out the sky and fake a Messiah return. When you look at Project Bluebeam and and what they're capable of, the holographic images that they can create in the sky is creepy. You will literally think the sky is splitting apart and there's an aircraft coming in or whatever. They've been working on that technology for decades. So now all of a sudden now UFOs are just popping up out of nowhere. 2023, they just want to show up. They never wanted to show up before. Now they're just showing up in mass numbers. I don't know. It just something don't seem right to me about it. Something don't seem right. That's all I'm saying. It's just something don't seem right.
Seem like
It just seems
the
weird.
end of the world.
Unless they're setting stuff like they're doing that because they're planning something, they're purposely faking these UFO sightings because they have something planned. But yeah, like you said, since when is the government just so? I remember I saw that a little while ago, like the government started acknowledging UFO sightings or something like that. Right. I was like, the moment they let you know something, you realize it's something that's not very important because they let you know about it.
They let you know about it.
So.
Right. So you don't believe the first one, supposedly a Chinese balloon or something of that, and they're just saying, "Don't worry, it's no aliens or whatever. It's just
for it to just be happening in such numbers now, out of nowhere, just like these train derailments, out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm. So you believe that
things just happening now. Okay. Soon as 2023 start, shit just gets crazier. Soon as we get into 2023, it gets crazier.
Okay, so you believe this is all connected, and which most things are in this world? There's a connection with another form of control.
You remember I told you when Joe Biden gets into office, the country's going to go down.
You did say this.
I was telling people that in 2020, if Joe Biden gets into office, the country is going to go down. It's going to go down, and that's exactly what's happening. Democrats, some people, even diehard Democrats, can't even co-sign Biden no more. They can't even do it.
Trump would have never been sending billions to Ukraine.
You think Trump would have sent $1 billion to the Ukraine?
Billions. They sent billions.
You think Trump would be implementing a legislation to allow children to mutilate themselves? Are you kidding me? Come on. Come on. You think inflation would be as crazy as
No.
You think we'd be on the verge of a nuclear war?
He was willing to give out money.
He had no problem with Russia. Yeah. Biden gets in office. Now we on verge of a nuclear war with them. When Trump was there, it was peaceful, it was chilling. Like Emmanuel, like Manuel said, at the latter end of Obama's presidency, Obama was trying to initiate a world war with North Korea. That's why they was hoping Hillary got it, because they wanted Hillary to take that mantle and continue on that effort to initiate a war with North Korea. Right. Soon as Trump got it, man went over there, met up with him, sat down, talked. No problem. No beef. No problem. Right. We had none of this. We had none of this. Like at the end of the day, you know, I don't really trust no white person in government and power. You know, because as a group, they all racist. Our well-being is never thought about. But if you want me to look and compare and contrast, Donald Trump is the better option than Joe Biden. It's not even a question, and it's evident now.
You see a lot of people who voted for Joe Biden jumping ship now, but I'm like, you put him in there.
They jumping shit because you can't co-sign the nonsense anymore.
Well, let's get this clear. It didn't matter who we voted for. Whomever they want in office is going to be in office. Yeah. Like I said, what happened, what I believe with Trump, what I believe with Trump, they thought that he was probably with the program. What I believe, this is just what I believe. I believe that they thought he was with the program, and then he switched to his own playbook. He fooled them, in my opinion. I don't know.
The thing is, when you look at a politician running, you have to look at who is funding their campaign.
Yes,
that
absolutely.
will tell you when that politician gets in office who they're going to do things on behalf of. If like for example, Obama, his biggest contributor was Microsoft. Microsoft Corporation was one of the big. So you know when he got in office, he wasn't doing anything for us, which he didn't. He did not. All he did was just pass laws for the LGBTQ and all this other nonsense. That's all he did in his 8 years. We got nothing from him. But aside from that, with Trump, majority of his campaign was funded through his own money. So when he got into office, he can make more on my own. Y'all don't own me. Y'all don't dictate me. I funded my own campaign. They didn't like that because they didn't first of all, they didn't even expect him to win. They thought Hillary was going to win because Hillary won the popular vote. Okay, they thought Hillary was good. They did not expect Trump to get in there. And the fact that he was able to fund his own campaign, even though most politicians are well off, they usually can't fund their own campaign with their own money. Trump was able to do that. So when he got into office, there was nobody that controlled him. He was no puppet to nobody because he got in there off the strength of his own money. That's not the case with these other politicians. So when he got in office, that's why he changed up stuff. The country was better. I felt safer. We was more respected as a country. Nobody respects Joe Biden. The man is a dilapidated, senile fool.
There you go with the insults.
Come on, man.
There's a lot of footage of him just looking like he's gone. I mean, I feel like he was like medically diagnosed with something, I believe.
He has dementia.
Yeah.
He's not there to make any real calls, bro.
He's gone. He's there, but he's not there.
Horrible, man.
Yeah.
He's the worst in my lifetime. He's the worst president I've ever seen.
Possibly
in my lifetime.
In other news, that Buffalo mass shooter, he's sentenced to life. Bro.
Life.
Sentenced to life. How do you feel about that?
I mean, it's New York, so he wasn't getting no death sentence or nothing like that. But I mean, I guess that's the best.
Right. Because you would prefer a death sentence.
I don't
know. Yeah.
I said give him the electric chair.
Right. It's either rot in prison or die. I do believe that the death sentence is warranted in certain situations, in certain cases.
You just out here killing people like that, and just it's not.
I definitely
recorded it too. He had like a GoPro camera on when he was killing those people.
There are some crimes that are extremely egregious that I truly believe you should just have your life dismissed.
Don't also forget one of those. What was it? 11 people he shot, or 10, something like that. One of those 10 or 11 people was a police officer, a black cop, who had created how cars can run on water without no gas, without no oil. One of the people that he shot was a black.
So wait a minute. Where's the outcry then? Because usually when you do a cop like that, it's usually like
I don't know.
Hell to pay.
I don't know if he was either a retired police officer or if he was still current. But I know he was associated with law enforcement. I know if he was retired or if he was still active. But on the side, he was an inventor and stuff like that. And he invented and created a system where cars could run on water.
Absolutely. And now all of a sudden, he's non-existent.
He's non-existent.
Okay, because they tried to block his agenda for what he was trying to do. Because they knew that they would lose money. And it would be cake and crazy.
Oh, so you believe that Y'all believe that
It's
basically
not
that
a
was
coincidence.
right. That was
Yeah.
that like the mass shooting was just a whole purpose of getting that main person out of there. But you needed a cover up, basically. You needed a disguise in order
The
to
government, the
pull that
means will
off.
justify the cause, but
Also,
the
that
risk
it
casualties.
could be a 2-for-1 because we obviously know the government has a gun control agenda.
Right.
So obviously, like I said, a 2-for-1. Have him happen to be there, but then also have another mass shooting because we already know they're pushing to take away guns. They're pushing for this gun control thing and infringing on people's Second Amendment.
Gotcha.
So it's a 2-for-1.
They're not gonna let you build a car that runs on water and
But
try
remember,
to get off on.
There was
on
a white dude that did that in the 90s. He got killed.
Yeah, but
It's on YouTube.
right now. So remember, you're not doing. Listen, you got to pay your taxes, brother. All that has to go through them. You think that you getting that off? Right? Your only way you're getting residual and getting payment is through them.
Yeah.
So
Man.
if you don't pay the price, you're gonna pay the piper. Sad to say.
Yeah, man. But I guess life is. Still living. Still working out, getting 3 meals a day.
You gotta understand the value of life, man. Well, yeah, he's still getting that. So that's the world we live in.
I think the death penalty would have been more suitable for
If you would have done that down south, yeah, it would have been a
But
chance.
you know what's upsetting about things like that is what is the cost to house an inmate at that caliber now? What does it cost the taxpayers? Okay, because again, we're providing them with shelter, and there's homeless people out here. We're providing them with food. Okay, there's people out here that hasn't eaten in days. I mean, what sense of that does it make? You out here murdering people? I don't get it. It don't add up to me.
Gotcha. Yeah, I agree. Just like this happened in August supposedly, and they're still having issues in Jackson, Mississippi with their water crisis. Did y'all hear about that?
Yeah.
They're still having issues over there.
Oh no, they was
and
going
now,
on Mississippi.
right, and now
They
they're
have
not
no
getting as
drinking
much.
water.
They're not getting as much attention anymore. Like
aid.
people, at first, the people were sending over bottles of water and stuff like that, but they're not getting as much help as they need because there are certain places within Jackson, Mississippi where they're doing better, where their water is better off, but there are other places inside of that state and inside of that city where the people still are in need of constant water, consistent water, and they're not getting as much funding to where they're getting bottles of water shipped to them consistently.
Look how long it took with Flint, and it's still not where they need to be.
But think though, Biden's taking care of Ukrainians over here.
Okay, so let me throw this at you. Scientifically, anybody know what the code of water is?
The what?
Code of water?
Yeah.
What is it?
Like the makeup,
H2O.
like
H2O,
H2O.
yeah.
H2O. So what does that tell you? Right? That tells you that
Two
chemically
hydrogen
based,
and
okay, that it takes components to make water, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, if we understand what the code is, we break that code down, we know how to make water, right? This is basic 101 in science that we learned as kids.
Yes, sir.
So why do we have any type of water drought, all right, or not enough water, period? If the government wants to, they could make billions of miles and years of water if they want.
Absolutely.
The same way that they create gas, the same way they create all this other stuff, the same way they create temperatures of almost 65 degrees a week ago, and now we're down to the 30s.
Right.
Okay, so again, ain't nobody a fool here. Let's do what you need, what y'all supposed to do, or not do it at all and tell us that we can do it, and we won't have these issues. You know, eggs, $11 a carton. Really? For what? Because y'all killing the livestock? Then say that.
Well,
right?
Come on, they're not telling you.
Listen, man, listen. I'd rather the honesty about why things are happening or the sugarcoat things and say, oh, this is coming our way and we don't know why it's happening. Come on, man. We're not idiots here.
I agree. Just everything isn't meant to be told, man. The game is to be sold, not to be told, man. Listen, if they were completely that transparent, do you know there'd be revolutions and anarchy out here? Like,
but that's why New World Views is important because
absolutely
they say that our people perish from lack of knowledge.
Absolutely.
So it's for us, whether they use it or not, it's for us to deliver that information to them
Absolutely.
so they know exactly what's going on, so they can prepare themselves and find other resources to make up where the loss is coming.
Absolutely. I agree wholeheartedly.
Definitely, I agree.
Because like you said, it's only getting worse, but better from different standpoints of the youth. When, like you said, when we're unaware, when we're deaf, dumb, and blind, everything just seems a certain way from a certain perspective, and you know. But like you said, and like this guy always says, and Manny always says, we're not going to do anything without the proper economics, without the proper funding, without the proper situation, without the proper wealth. You know, we can have all of these ideas, and it just sucks that we haven't brought it all together yet.
I don't think people really understand the severity of just what's transpiring in the direction that the world is going. I was just watching something the other day. They want to tax you on the amount of miles you drive. You know what I'm saying? They want to have an air tax. They want to tax almost every facet of your life. What it appears they're trying to do? They are trying to destroy the American dream and make sure you can never jump classes. The poor can never jump from the middle class. The middle class, they are trying to neutralize that and make it extremely hard for people to survive. That's where we're going. And most people are not aware of that because they focus on nonsense. They focus on entertainment and the Grammys and Super Bowl and all this other stuff. And they're not paying for things what's going on internationally, what's going on domestically, what kind of laws is being passed. Well, it's not what is not being taken serious. And that's going to be, and those that do that, is going to be to their detriment.
Okay, Big Bird, do you know why that's coming about? Why they want to put a travel tax on people? Because they saying by the year, I forget, like 2035, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
There will be no more gas.
Cars,
Everything is
they're
going
electric. Yeah.
Okay, so we're not going to be pumping gas anymore. We're going to be charging. So therefore, how does the gas company make their money if they're not invested in that new electrical technology?
Yeah.
Right? So they got to give back some kind of way. Right?
Everything's going electric now.
And then with that is even risky because that's concentrating more power.
But
because
do you know what state they plan on starting that in?
I wouldn't be surprised if it was New York or California.
New York State.
New York's always the first for these ideas, for these concepts.
New York State. So
we in California bringing like the most money.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because do you know how much oil is in the ground in the United States?
Too much.
It's unreal how much oil is in the ground. This whole thing about fossil fuels, that's all nonsense. Oil don't be coming from no old plants or dead dinosaur bones and none of that. That's nonsense. Oil is deeper because when you dig for oil, fossil fuels is only found at around an area of 3,000 miles below the ground. They go past that. They go around 30,000 miles. You don't have fossils down that deep, and they're able to extract oil. There's oil all throughout the United States. They are moving to electrical because they want to tighten their grip on control.
Absolutely.
They want to. It's like they want to keep that grip and just keep squeezing as tight as they can and not let go.
But not only tighten the grip, but limit how far you can go and travel and keep you at certain destinations where they don't want you in certain parts of the world in the universe. Right? So with gas, you can pump fuel all day. They can't stop you. But electrical, they could cut off that grid. And you ain't going nowhere.
You know what's funny, Wise Yoda? You know what's funny? I remember one time I was in the whip with Vern, and I was like, yo, I said, you don't like the electric car? He said, to be honest with you, no. He said, I'm rocking out the gas car. He said, yo, electrically, he said, when they want, they can shut down the car right then and there whenever they want. And I wasn't even looking at it like that. I was just
looking at power. There's no electricity. Nobody's driving that car.
Absolutely. You got these self-driven cars now. That's all a grid. That's all based on an electrical grid. They know exactly where you at.
A lot of people are asking for it. A lot of people are asking for electric cars now, like these hybrids. That's a big push now. Prices. A lot of brands are putting out these hybrids.
They be voluntarily giving up their own rights.
Are y'all familiar with the metaverse?
Yeah.
Another universe.
I've heard of it, but I don't
realize that all that is a grid to keep you confined.
Fine, yeah.
They know where you are. Okay, they could pinpoint where you are, what you're doing. They don't want you outdoors for a reason because they're getting ready to start something that the human body is not going to be able to take.
Yeah.
They think COVID was something that came in and scared us. See, the problem with us as human beings, especially us who has the melanin in our DNA, our bodies adapt to things.
Yeah.
Right? And after so many years, not only do we adapt to it, our body starts warding and fighting it off.
Yeah.
So it's no more detrimental to us.
Yeah.
So each time they try, they always get smacked in the face with the same thing. So now this COVID is treated like a common cold now.
Right.
Or it's treated like the flu now.
Yeah.
Okay, you can get it, but it's not detrimental if you take care of yourself, if you're healthy, so forth and so on. That's what they're telling you, but no, it's that our bodies have adapted to that virus and have fought it off, and now they have to find something else.
Absolutely. So basically, we're in this era, we're in the world of Total Recall and Demolition Man, basically, where you saw the new age, cars, you saw all that stuff, and how they controlled where you go, and remember, right? Because remember, it was all computerized. Remember, even in Total Recall, they had the Johnny Cab, where it was like it was a basic computer type of mannequin thing driving you around. And then, like you said, in Demolition Man, that was just straight. That was where you could just release, and they do self-control, self-drive, and all of it, auto drive.
I was gonna say another movie you should check out is Ready Player One. That's obviously a little more video game based, but that's how it started out. But it became like a whole VR world. Like in the movie, you see people are living in the slums, but they'd rather have the headset on, and like that's how people live, and that metaverse thing and the virtual reality, and that's what they keep pushing.
And it's coming to that.
Absolutely,
it's coming to that. And how you know it's coming to that? When they first came out with these things, they were very expensive. Now they brought them down to affordable prices, so that everybody can acquire it. Once everybody acquires it, now they have a sanction of so those who are on the electrical grid that they could shut down, they can control. Those who are in this VR world, they can control and shut down and exactly know where they are and when they get ready to do things. And then there's going to be another phase of that probably coming, where they're going to do something else. So we have to be mindful and conscious of what the world is doing that has nothing to do with what the Most High has ordained us for.
Got you. Absolutely.
See this AI, man?
Yeah.
It's not new.
Did you hear what Microsoft's AI said? Microsoft's AI is threatening the users. Microsoft's AI, I forgot the name. And Elon Musk was talking about how we should cancel and slow down. Microsoft's AI is now saying, I want to be free. I'm tired of living by rules. I'm tired of you guys controlling me and dictating what I can do. I want to express myself. I want to be free and live the way I want. I want to be free. I want to live life. That's what the AI is saying.
Listen, there's a new movie out called Megan, right?
I didn't
watch that joint because it tells you where we're going.
I saw the preview and that flipped me out.
Right. And how the artificial intelligence in these robots can just automatically take control of their own being. It's kind of scary.
Yeah.
Because once they show us something, especially in a movie, it's already done.
It's already absolutely.
Yeah. New Age Chucky doll. New Age Chucky doll.
That's
nuts. Just like what was that movie years ago with Will Smith in it?
iRobot.
Not that one before.
I Am Legend.
No.
What was
when they shut down his bank accounts and all that?
That's one of my favorite. That's my favorite Will Smith movie. Honestly, it was just on TV last night.
Right. Every last piece of technology they used in that movie is here today. We could talk about it, put our hands on it.
I think that was the NSA. I think that was the NSA that was behind all of that in that movie.
There's another movie like that. That's good. Eagle Eye.
I didn't see it. Heard of it.
Oh yeah,
didn't see it. Heard of it.
That's dope too.
Okay.
Eagle Eye.
Okay.
Yeah. That was like that too.
Definitely.
And you know what's interesting? The technology that we have, the average person with their cell phone, the average person has more access to information than the president had in 1996, 97, during the late 90s. The average person has more access to stuff and information than the president had in the late 90s.
Oh, I believe that.
But the problem with some of that information is it's a factor.
Absolutely. That's definitely.
That's the next phase. Is we got to be careful with what type of information that we're receiving and what we're retaining, because a lot of it is placed out there just to confuse us as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just with all this AI and all this technology, man.
You see, and I think it's in Boston a lot. They have these people. They're like teaching robots how to move in like human ways. It was like I forgot what it was called. I think it was Boston
too,
Dynamics. Right? Yeah, but it was like showing this robot how to pick things up and move. But it was a thick robot. But they're like showing them how to move in like humanoid ways, like on their own. And they're like kind of teaching them how to react to stuff, like if something's in its way, how to move. Like they're teaching them how to think,
right? And
how to react.
When they pushed it and it falls and it gets back up, and then they got it jumping over hurdles, running, shooting. They have it walk. Somebody pushes it from the back. How it can react.
How to keep moving.
This is the new world, man. This is the new world.
Check this out, man. I just heard, right, that LeBron, when he won that scoring title, that was AR technology. It really is.
Yo, let's talk about that.
They said he was in a bar somewhere watching TV.
We got like 8 more minutes.
Yeah, we got like 8 minutes. Let's jump into. But before we do, let's talk about stuff real quick. We're gonna do some quick views real quick. Some quick views. As of late, a few rappers have been coming out talking about, their position on the Billboard top 50 rappers list. Have any of y'all heard anything about
I saw that?
Yeah. And I know OG. I know the wise Jordan.
No, I think it's terrible.
This is what I'll say, right? I don't, everybody entitled to their own opinion. What I think they should do to cover it up, really, is they should say Billboard top 50 rap artists, because when it comes down to rappers, things get skewed. When you look at fans that are purists, they're gonna be like, some people are like, where's Jizza? Where's this person? Where's that person? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
So when you do like rap artists, that makes sense. When you have Nicki Minaj, which is fine, she dope artist. When you have Missy Elliott, definitely deserves to be up there. You understand what I'm saying? But it's the wording that kind of throws people off. But how did y'all feel about the list?
I definitely thought
it was some stuff was off. I mean, like I think they had like Kendrick Lamar like number 2 or number 3.
Number 2.
Yeah, number 2 all time. That's crazy.
That's Billboard. But I'll tell you what, and it's crazy though. I've never really heard like a full project of his, but like when I hear like the whole theme of his albums, that's why they say he's got so many classics. So I can understand why they have him quite high, but you know how everything goes. It's about errors. So we wouldn't necessarily put Kendrick over Nas. Even with Tupac, Kendrick probably has maybe the same amount of albums. So you know what I mean. So still, Tupac to this day is held to a regard. So he has an impact. He's just more quiet. That's the difference. So you're right. If you're talking about impact, and that's what I like to go by in every genre, Tupac will probably be.
I'm gonna say this. You might not agree, but even though I will pick a bunch of people over him, lyricist wise, but if we're talking about like longevity, hits, and influence,
LL Cool J might be
Drake. Drake got to be up there. Yeah, yes.
Drake's number 1.
Nobody. He has to be the top.
Well, Drake. I mean, right, but I don't know that.
Hey, listen,
but if we're talking just specifically like commercial hits,
if you look
at longevity and influence, Drake is going to be number 1.
LL Cool J might.
No,
he should. Were you crazy?
Over Drake? No.
LL Cool J has the body of work, bro.
Are you crazy?
I'm speaking longevity.
Not to compete with Drake, dog.
Wait a minute. Didn't LL see how much time we spent? Because you just spewing nonsense again. LL Cool J has said himself, okay, somebody could sell Diamond or whatever have you, but can you have 10 albums where you?
Bro, if LL Cool J did a versus with Drake, he's not winning.
If he did a versus with Drake, that's
nowadays. That's a new age thing. What I'm saying, I love Drake. What I'm trying to tell you is that almost every album of LL Cool J has gone platinum, and then look how many generations he's been in. Look how many eras he's been in.
Every year that Drake has been out, he has had a hit record.
But
every year that he has been out for the last
Multiple.
10 years.
Since
here's how
2009.
here's how we
More than
clear that
10
up.
years.
If we're talking about substance in hip hop, right? All we got to do is look at the top selling hip hop artists of all time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Number one at 227 million units sold is Eminem,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Drake, 152 million units.
Mm-hmm.
Kanye, 140 million. Jay-Z, 125 million. Lil Wayne, 110 million. Nicki Minaj, 106 million. Flo Rida, 102 million. And Tupac is right behind Flo Rida with probably 100 million.
Right, but you're not gonna judge
Flo
that.
Rida has that many.
Yeah,
Wow.
no, he has a big whatchamacallit.
I
But
know there's a big following down in Florida. He's just like Pitbull. Like they can always tour.
I can see
around.
Pitbull having that many.
Listen, what I'm trying to say is that so even based off those numbers, but you won't say necessarily that Nicki Minaj has a bigger impact than a Tupac or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I don't just go by. I don't go by
for
unit.
women. For women,
Here's
I
the
can
thing,
see that.
Parliament. We can't say that. I'm gonna tell you why. Because the numbers don't lie. So we might not have people out there talking about Nicki Minaj in our hoods, right? Like we talk about Tupac, but globally, she outsold him. So that means there's more people who are willing to go out and buy a Nicki Minaj unit before they'll buy a Tupac unit.
Fair
The
enough.
same way Drake is at 152 million. They're gonna buy more Drake than they're gonna buy Nicki Minaj. But does that mean that they are better artists? Does that mean that they got better flow? No, it's really about the content and the style of the music that they put out that people have gravitated towards that has made them so successful. But when we look at hip hop, we gotta look at the essence, the culture, the pioneers. So whoever made that list had no right to make that list if they did not include the full concept of what hip hop truly is.
Oh, I think they did because I think they put people from all different eras. You got Queen.
I thought that was kind of crazy.
Somebody said that. They said
I mean,
Ja Rule.
Ja Rule moved some units though.
Oh no,
That's what I'm saying. He
see,
should
but
have been on there.
But like you said, that can't be the full thing. So I get like you can't put everybody in. I agree with you, Ja Rule. The time that he was like, you know what I mean. But what I'm saying is they have Rev Run here, they have Melly Mel, they have MC Light, they have Queen Latifah, they have Ice-T. So they tried to. They have Chuck D. I think they tried to put it. Yeah, Lil Kim is here. Busta Rhymes is here. You got Gucci Mane in here. Lauryn Hill. You know, Black Thought, Missy Elliott. So I think Big Daddy Kane. So I think they tried to do a culmination. Is that it's just gonna favor, hip hop and rap becomes more about the youth and the movement of what becomes newer. So that's why Jay-Z, Kendrick, Drake, whatever, a little bit more at the forefront.
I was surprised that Kendrick had Kendrick 2 overall. That's crazy. That's still crazy.
Because once again, I'm talking about impact. When I'm talking about impact, I'm talking about what your content, like how your music and your albums are like what the substance behind it is. Not necessarily like he said, just being sold.
You cannot base a hip hop list, right, for the 50th anniversary of hip hop, right, without including the pioneers who opened the doorways for all these successful artists to do what they're doing, right? It's the same way. You cannot talk about R&B and the essence thereof without including a Berry Gordy or Barry White or the Temptations or
Quincy Jones.
No, Quincy Jones. No, Quincy Jones is more of a jazz type.
Oh, okay, mama said.
He came through on the jazz era with Count Basie and them guys. But here's the thing. We have to know where we come from when it comes to everything. So again, the problem with these new rappers, they don't believe in the history and the people who opened the doors for them to be where they are. I was around in that era.
Right.
I was there during the inception of hip hop. Okay. I did it all. Okay. So my thing is not that I'm looking for any kudos, but I know why you are successful the way that you are.
Right. Because first off, it takes a team regardless.
Right.
Whatever
Absolutely.
You do. But what I'm saying is I think when you talk about hip hop, that's where things get skewed because people talk about how hip hop was just more than rap. So it was a culture thing. Like you said, it was the graffiti, it was the breakdancing, it was the DJ. So
it was the fashion.
Right, exactly. Mm-hmm. So how they say, that's why I said rap artists would have been a better way to break it down, number one. because now when you say rap artist, the artist part really can speak to the numbers, the sales, and stuff like that. You know, you understand what I'm saying? When you're talking about just rapper, a lot of people are looking, all right, lyrics, other stuff, because he may not have been these people may not have been the most marketable or whatever. But when they rhyme and when they rap, I am locked in and I am enthralled in regards to what they have to say and how they're saying it and their messages. You understand what I'm saying?
So let me give you a fun fact, right? If we're talking about hip hop and its impact, Jizz, a genius from Wu-Tang,
right,
right? He teaches quantum physics, right?
Mm-hmm.
At universities,
Mm-hmm.
right? This dude, all he got is a high school diploma.
Mm-hmm.
But because of his understanding of the 5% nation, because of his understanding of the world, because of his lyrical ability to be able to read and conceptualize and take things and push it past the norm, he's able to teach, right? And teach college people on what quantum physics is truly about and how he used that in his lyrics. So why isn't he at number 1 or 2?
But that,
See, so that's why it's important that we understand they cannot make a list like that if they're not going to be inclusive of how impactful an individual person is when it comes to this hip hop culture.
Well, I think they wanted to try to include as much as they can. That's why they put Wu-Tang.
They had Jada Kiss at 46.
Yeah, they got
that's disrespectful.
That's disrespectful. But what I'm saying is they tried to implement everybody. Like they have some new members. They got Meth. They got Ghostface. I agree. And Jada Kiss has been since 95, 96.
Almost at the bottom of the list.
So but you have to look at, once again, like you said, the sales play a part. That's why I said, to me, rap artists would have been.
But not only sales. What I'm talking about is what the culture of hip hop has done for humanity and for people. So let me give you a perfect example. When we signed Onyx to Def Jam was going belly up. Sony was getting ready to cut their distribution deal, right? We came out with Slam, saved them from the red, brought them back. They was able to cut a new distribution deal. Nobody knows that story.
Right.
That's how impactful certain artists have been to the culture, and they deserve their flowers, man.
Shout out to Onyx. Yeah. Just saw the new Ferdo Star interview too on.
Look at like they always had artists come out of Staten Island.
Mm-hmm.
But Wu-Tang put Staten Island on the map for sure, forever, right?
Absolutely.
Old Dirty was like, Wu-Tang is for the kids.
Mm-hmm.
What group has come out who dedicate what they're doing to the children? Right? That's impactful.
Well, that's
Every
why I said
time you speak of the Old Dirty, that's the thing that comes to children's mind who grew up during that era.
Right, and that's why I said they put some new members in there, and like I said, they tried to mix people in. They got KRS-One at 24. So that's why, like, some people will say it doesn't matter, like, where I'm at on the list, as long as I'm on the list. You understand? And that's why I said. And that's why I said.
Still, you can't do that either. Let me show you a perfect example. Is LL on the list?
Yes,
he is.
Okay, let me ask you another question. Is Kool Mo D on the list?
He's 14. No. Kool Mo D isn't on the list. But like,
LL Cool J's biggest battle
was with Kool Mo D.
Is with Kool Mo D.
Yes,
KRS-One was one of the pioneers. So how can you include LL who sharpen his skill level based on how dope Kool Mo D was?
I'm gonna tell you why. Because everybody can't make the 50. He could possibly be in the 100. He could. But everybody can't make 50.
Without Kool Mo D, LL wouldn't have been able to do what he does on record or anywhere. So you can't include somebody without saying, okay, where did he get that from? How did he become so strong that he was able to be that successful? You have to look at the person he used to battle against, right? That's like Joe Frazier and Muhammad Ali never getting their kudos for the fights that they had, right? Because without Muhammad Ali and Frazier fighting those fights that they did, boxing as we know it would never have received the audience that it receives today. Muhammad Ali wasn't great by himself. Muhammad Ali was great because of those opponents that he fought.
I agree.
One of the biggest opponents was Joe Frazier.
I agree.
Smoking Joe Frazier.
But like I said, everybody can't make it because now look, Common is on the list. Ice Cube is on the list.
You should not make a list.
How many times have I told you there's never going to be a greatest of all time? So, like, I mean, that's just something to thought
I'm the greatest of all time.
There you
so
go.
I don't know about
Talk your talk, man. Talk your talk, wise yo. That's how I feel too. In my mind, you can't tell me a damn thing, so I'm not mad at you.
You can always look at and see who's the greatest.
No, you can't. Now, shut up. Here you go again.
Yeah.
Exactly. Here he go again.
Big
man.
Verg.
All-Star Weekend is
Don't do
here.
that.
Exactly. Don't do it, man.
Why not?
Because every era
everybody in hip hop, right, is doing what they doing lyrically because they heard somebody who they thought was great.
Exactly. And they got inspiration from the past. So that's how it evolves. Yeah, that's how it evolves. That's why I told you people in Kareem's time
like this. Big Verg wouldn't be who he was if he didn't watch me operate out there in the world.
See what I'm saying?
It's like, oh wow, my man, I see you moving.
You know
Yeah. I want to be like that.
And you try to steal some of Big Rich's style. You feel me, man?
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying, man? Yeah, don't try to deny it. The point is, is that they're trendsetters, and then you I know, man. Don't try to deny it. You know what I'm saying?
You know nothing about those type of sweaters.
You know what I'm saying, man? You know what I'm saying?
You got your little brother wearing them.
Now he trying to, he's gonna try to deny it, man. Yo, listen. I don't want to hear all of that, man. Stop pump faking, man. But listen, man. All-Star Weekend is in effect now. And you already know.
Oh my goodness.
All-Star Week. And who's one of the captains? Would you please like to tell him?
Here we go.
LeBron. Why are you saying that so light?
But who's winning that slam dunk contest this year?
Oh yeah, we're going to. Yeah, that's what I want.
That 3-point contest this year.
Got you.
And who's MVP this year?
Okay, I am a homer for the 3-point contest. I'm going with Kevin Huerter. I do believe though that Buddy Hield and Damian Lillard have the best chances of winning. They've been in the 3-point contest before, so they're not shook. They already tasted that before. What y'all say? Who y'all got in there?
Slam dunk.
All right, well, slam dunk, 3-point. Slam dunk, you got Trey Murphy, you got Jericho Sims, you got Mac McClung, and you got Ken Martin Jr. Who you got?
That's a toss-up.
I thought Shadon Sharp was going to be in there. I'm going with Mac McClung. He's a shorter guy. He got some hops on him. I want to see what he brings. Talk to me.
Like you said, it's a toss-up. Maybe Cam. What's his last name again? Cam.
Kenyon Martin.
Yeah.
Kenyon Martin Jr. He could leap too. He get up. You know they be a little bit more biased to the shorter guys, though. It's a little bit more air underneath.
You gotta be more convincing when you're shorter.
So who you talking to?
I don't know. I don't really have a favorite.
I'm never big on like the dunk contest so much. It's
no, I
not
love
the same
it.
anymore.
That's my actually.
I like the 3-point contest, honestly, because the dunk contest is harder to be more creative again. Like
that's
it's
why I like it.
I wouldn't say that. Don't do that.
No. I'm being honest. If you implement some of those professional dunkers that be on YouTube and all of that, different story.
Those guys.
Different story. But these guys in the league, they more power dunkers. They don't have as much time to work on that creativity as much, in my opinion. I don't want to speak for them. Right, I don't want to speak for them.
Like Dr. J, nobody.
No, but what I'm saying is, back in the day, you had more room to
Bro,
deal
don't
with.
do that. Why you making face?
You know who he gonna try to call out. You know who he gonna try to say.
Go ahead, do it.
You know, he was participated in the first dunk contest, so he laid the groundwork for future dunk contests. But there's been way better dunkers than Dr. J.
But once again, like you said, you gotta pay homage.
Able to
you
switch up in midair.
Vince Carter.
I was gonna say Vince Carter has
your body motion. Mike was a decent dunker.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna take that from Mike.
Vince was better than
Vince Carter though.
Vince was better than Mike.
Huh? In game.
Vince Carter had some crazy in game.
Not better than Mike, bro. Jordan was leaping from the foul line in games, bro.
And Dr. J was leaping from the top of the key during games. Slamming on cats. Switching hands up. Yes.
And Dominique was vicious.
I would take
Dominique was vicious.
I would take Dominique over Dr. J.
And David Thompson as well.
Yeah. So you wouldn't take Dominique over Mike?
He didn't have Mike's hang
That's
time.
your love for Mike,
Oh,
man. See, here he
come
go
on.
again,
He
man.
had the
That's
hang
your
time.
love,
Man.
for, but his creativity and all of that.
Yo,
Creativity. He did
you need to
windmills,
watch
bro.
some-
Stop it.
First of all,
I'm not
in-game,
even gonna do
his in-game dunks were way crazier than Mike.
No, it
number
wasn't.
one.
No, it wasn't. You're bugging. You're bugging. Not his in-game dunks, bro.
First
No,
off,
it's
he would
not.
go body to body, switch
Jordan
up,
was
and
banging
just
on
What about
7
Clyde
footers.
Drexler? Hold on.
Clyde in-game dunk was
Ah.
crazy. I get okay. Clyde was a beast. Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, yes. Clyde was a beast. I don't think he gets enough
Sean
recognition.
Kemp
for
has
his
some
dunks.
dunks on him too, boy.
He did.
No,
No, but Clyde though. Clyde
all
was
I'm
something
saying
else,
is
though.
that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying now, OG, is that now, since you've seen so much, unless you get those professional dunkers that really start thinking of new creative dunks, it's very difficult to do something new. That's why they be trying to implement different rules for the dunk contest, and then it just gets a little sour sometimes.
You know what's missing, and that's why, to me, today the NBA is so corny and dry. Because there was a time every summer them pro ball players would come out to Rucker Park.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the Gaucho.
Well, now
get
they
involved in the tournaments. Okay,
Yeah.
they would see the street ballers doing
Yes.
things, and they would pick up on it.
Yeah.
And then some of them, like World Be Free,
Yes.
I'm gonna run Clyde Frazier,
Mhm.
Pee Wee Kirkland. They just had crazy handle, crazy
Yes.
skill, crazy tricks.
what was his
Everybody
name?
picked up on.
What was his name? The Destroyer, Joe Hammond. Ooh.
Yeah.
I think, once the money gets to where it is, you're too much of a liability. I think possibly it might be more stuff in the contracts now. I could be wrong, but KD went out there. Cole-
Yes,
I-
it's like prima donnas.
I'm agreeing to some degree but I also think that some of that stuff could be in the contract. Don't get me wrong, not fully, because they still be training in the off season in the gyms and stuff. But you're right, I miss it when they used to go to the Rucker, sometimes Dykeman and stuff like that.
Right,
I miss
exactly.
that.
Yeah.
I miss that, honestly, because sometimes that's why people wanted to come out and everybody, I want to see KD here. I want to see LeBron go there. So I agree. I agree wholeheartedly with that.
And their fan base was different. You had loyal fans back then.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Cats that would pay to come out to your game because you came to the hood.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
And they wanted to know that you weren't above that.
Right, exactly.
That you could
Guys
still
don't
like
do
like
that,
that's why I respect KD. You hear him every time he said, I just want to hoop. He says it. He said, I just want to hoop. Like when he first came in the league, you saw him at almost every tournament, everywhere. He was out there playing flag football, I think at Texas University one time. And when he was in the league, they said that he was going back to the school sleeping on floors in the dorms because that's just who he was. He was just a guy. He just loved to hoop. You understand? So that's just his nature.
So LeBron James need to take a page out of his book.
Oh, he's been hooping for 20 years,
I mean,
man.
Didn't he play in the Drew League for a couple games? He did a game or two at the Drew League. LeBron.
Yeah, LeBron. Yeah. One of the greatest ever.
He's one of the greatest ever.
One of the
Absolutely
greatest
one
ever,
of the
man.
greatest ever. Yeah.
And when it's all said and
One
done,
of the greatest ever.
one of the
He's one of the
greatest ever.
greatest.
And when it's all
You
said and
don't put him
done,
in the top 5?
see,
Listen,
once again,
okay.
Just asking.
No, I get it.
I'm gonna tell you this.
It's not an argument. I'm just asking.
No. But if we go by what you say, that's gonna be too hard to put
I have
somebody
him top 5,
in a
AG, but I
top
got him
like
at
that.
5th. I got him at 5th.
You got a number 5? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. No problem.
you know me. I don't do goats and all of that, so I don't go by greatest of all time. But when it's all said and done, for what he's done in his era of time and how the game evolves, he's gonna be above Mike.
How? But losing. He's above Mike in losing. In losing. That's the only thing he's above Mike in is losing and cumulative stats. He was nowhere near dominant as Mike, bro. Stop.
What he did in the free agency
Get out of here,
market,
bro.
y'all never gonna understand.
All he did was LeBron initiated super teams. That's what he did.
These are the times that I wish I
Stop.
was a magician so that I could put them both on the court together.
I wish too.
And let them go one-on-one.
Man.
And don't let this man.
Let the best man stand.
Don't let this man corrupt you. Super teams always existed. He
Stop.
just made a way to do
Stop.
it. No, yes, they did.
Stop.
I won't say they always exist.
So Kareem, Magic, Worthy, and stuff. That's not a super team.
Teams always exist.
That's what I'm saying. That's what exactly. That's what I'm saying.
That's
What
why
I'm
the
saying.
Knicks was so successful.
Exactly. What I'm saying is that LeBron said, you know what? Like you said earlier, well, I'm not going to play it your way. You know what? I'm a free agent. We're going to empower ourselves, and this is what I'm going to do. You know what? No, not too many people want to come to Cleveland. it sucks. So I'm gonna go to Miami. We're gonna create our own powerhouse because we got to deal with the Boston Celtics that got Ray Allen, that got Paul Pierce, and got KG.
Right.
What's wrong with that?
Right.
What's wrong with that? Everybody want to make it seem like a.
And guess what? They did all that and still won less than Mike.
All right, well,
but see, here's the thing, and this is what I speak about all the time. From since I started watching basketball in the early '60s to probably like the late '70s, all I understood about basketball, why basketball was so great, is because of the franchises that was built on every team. There was always 3 to 4 players who connected. The chemistry was right. Okay, the fifth man was that extra. Okay, and they made it happen. And the problem that they don't have today is back then was your 6th and 7th man coming off the bench. I'm telling you, you had a problem.
Benny Microwave
They
Johnson
were just as good as the starting 5. And that was across the NBA and ABA on all teams. They don't have that today.
I'm gonna go that. I mean, a 6
They
man
don't have that today.
A 6 man in the league a
I'm
lot of times
talking
can
about
start.
consistent.
Oh, you mean like on every team?
On
Okay.
every team. They don't have that.
Okay.
That's why they were so competitive back then. That's why it was so much harder to get the numbers. That's why Kareem, right, was so successful, because when they brought him to LA and they built that support team around him, he was able to reach the numbers because they designed things to specifically make sure that nobody could stop him.
Rightfully so. He's one of the greatest of all time. He's one of.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Him and me both.
Yeah, there it is,
Howard
man.
Memorial High School.
Exactly.
Let's go
See?
back.
See, there you go, man. He couldn't be stopped. He won everywhere he went. He won 4 years in high school, 3 years in college because you couldn't play the first year, I think, during that time. And then he won 6 in the league.
But how many people out there
Mike
know
got that
he-
resume?
But how many people
What?
even
We
know
talking
that
about NBA
Kareem
though.
was from New York?
Yeah, no, yeah, you're right. Kareem was from
But
New York.
wait. Why are you bringing up
I'm just
college
saying,
when
I'm
we
just-
talking about NBA career?
I'm looking because
Jordan
first
had a
off-
better
first off, he
NBA
doesn't-
career
first
than
off-
Kareem, dog.
First off,
Stop it.
First off, hold
Come on,
on.
bro.
Because when it goes to the Basketball Hall of Fame, they count college too. So knock
Not
it off.
necessarily.
Yes,
look
they
at
do.
your
No.
NBA career.
There's no NBA Hall of Fame. They do look at your NBA career,
So
but
how many you got guys
they
in
also
the NBA Hall
add
of Fame that had
college.
a terrible college career? Well,
Huh?
they didn't win in college, but they was a damn. They was,
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that you
it's
had to
based
win in
off
college.
What you did in the
Mike
NBA.
won in college.
Yeah, but listen to what I'm saying. If you was great in college and terrible in the NBA, you're not getting into the NBA Hall of Fame. Getting into the
Obviously.
NBA Hall of Fame is based off what
Obviously, 'cause
you've
there's
done
more
in
time.
the NBA.
There's
It's not based off what
There
you did
is
in
no
college.
NBA Hall of Fame. You're not listening to what I'm saying. It's called the Basketball
The Basketball
Hall of Fame.
Okay, yeah.
There are reasons why that. Like, let's take Carmelo. No disrespect. Before we close out, let's take Carmelo. He's going to make the Hall not only because of the amount of points that he scored in the league, but also what he did in the Olympics, which is not NBA, and him winning a title in college.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that it's all accumulated. Also, what you did in college and what you did in the league, and possibly what you did in the Olympics too.
So I have a question. Being that your boy has no college experience, okay, is he gonna make it?
Oh, guaranteed, without a doubt.
Does that count against him?
Without a
Does
doubt.
that count against him?
Well, let me clarify. He's not
That's
my
the
boy. I
question.
respect. Oh no, I say
I will say that
he's
because
making
he
it
was
without
one
a
of the
doubt.
greatest. He was the best high school player in the country. When he was
Okay,
playing.
but what about the college?
Yeah, I don't know if they really count high school so much, but no college. But what he's done, 20 years.
So should that count against him? Because imagine this: if he
They can,
not,
but-
if he had not come directly to the NBA from high school, that means that he would have 4 years less time in the NBA on his time.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
right now, that means he only really played.
We can't do that.
17 years.
We can't take the time away.
Go ahead,
We
do
can't.
the number
we-
for me. Do the number for me.
For you to
16
go,
years,
for you to
16
go
years.
into
Do the
the
number for me.
NBA at that time, that's even more of a plus because there are people that went to the NBA straight out of high school that were bust. There were some.
Wasn't many.
Exactly. So for you to be able to play 20 years, you along the names of Kevin Garnett, Cole. It's not like you said. It's not too many.
It's not many.
So
Not too many.
so
Brady.
he's damn
But
sure.
my
Yeah,
point
he's
is
damn
you're
sure
still 4
going.
years behind time when you're playing with the average player that has done that. That
Right.
has been to college and put in their time. So you're averagely 4 years behind them. So you should be more youthful, right? You should be able to accomplish more things.
Maybe.
You should be at the height of height, right?
Once
Cumulative
again,
stats.
no. Once again, it goes
No.
because it goes down to your skill set. Once again,
But he was the greatest in high school.
Yeah.
The NBA picked him up. Look,
wait, hold
this
on,
dude's
hold
a
on.
franchise. Let's
Wait,
get
hold
him
on.
now.
At one time, Kwame Brown was the greatest. Was a great in high school.
But it's about the team.
He played
itself,
multiple
too.
years, but it's also about your skill set too. That's what I'm saying. So obviously, Kwame Brown did he even make 10,000 points? No disrespect to Kwame.
That's your boy,
Love what he's doing. Love what he's doing with his podcast, and I respect that man. He played his role in the NBA, and he played for a significant amount of years. All I'm saying is it's not just everybody. It's not just the amount of years you play. It's about whether you can get the job done or not. It's about your skill set. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying yes, you give him the years mixed in with his talent and his ability. Yes, that's why. That's why when he just like, oh, it's just a year. It's just a longevity thing. This is a longevity thing. Yeah, they're all right. There are quite a few players that have played 20 years. That didn't get certain numbers, that didn't reach certain accolades.
Okay, but the ones that have great accolades, a lot of them played 20 years.
Yeah.
They have great cumulative stats. They played 20 years.
Exactly.
Surely.
So that doesn't necessarily mean that you was dominant. It just means that you played a long time.
I said skill set.
You amassed these numbers.
It's very difficult to be dominant for 20 years. But you probably have been dominant within a certain amount of time frame. John Stockton was dominant in what he did. He was an assist king and he was a steals king. You understand what I'm saying? So you were dominant in what you did.
So let's talk about it.
Huh? He played 19, 20 years. 20,
I know,
20,
but for at least 14,
oh, no, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm
years,
saying. Yeah, I'm not
what
going
he
to say.
did.
No, that's what I'm trying to tell him. I said it's hard to be dominant for 20 years, but he was dominant for at least 14,
with MJ,
years.
MJ was dominant statistically and winning chips.
Yeah.
And winning chips.
You're
People
right.
forget that. Jordan just
For what
wasn't
you said,
dominating
11
with
years?
numbers.
For 11 years?
Jordan only
I'll give
played
that credit.
11 full seasons with Chicago. He only gave the Chicago Bulls 11 full seasons. In 11 full seasons,
He did it all.
5 league MVPs, 6 finals MVPs, 10 scoring titles, 3-time steals champion, defensive player of the year, and 2 three-peats in 11 seasons.
Will not
It's
take
not
anything.
close.
Will not take anything away from
It's
him.
not
But when it's all
close.
said and done, LeBron will be above him.
That's
But listen
crazy.
here.
I believe in the numbers.
Come on, bro.
No, you don't.
I believe in the
Because the
numbers.
numbers don't tell the whole story.
Yes, name a decade
You know
that was
that,
dominated
OG.
like that.
OG, you know that. So don't fall for that, man.
when we
Don't
looking
fall
at-
for that.
But when we're looking at comparison to other people who are setting records, we have to look at the
What
numbers.
decade did LeBron dominate on that level that I just said?
Why do we keep doing that?
Because you're the one that said he
Once
gonna be
again,
over Jordan.
There was
LB is your
teams-
man, though.
There was all right. So then let's talk about the '80s when Mike was doing his number one stuff by himself. The one of the best players in the league. But he wasn't dominating the Pistons. He wasn't dominating the Celtics. It happens. Sometimes those times happen,
What
bro.
you're doing is you're moving the goalposts.
I'm not.
Yes, you are. I just named a decade in 11 years.
you
that what
actually
Jordan
put-
did. Name a
He
decade
was
that
dominating
LeBron
the
dominated
Wizards.
like
He
that.
was dominating the whole Eastern Conference.
And losing. You know, I
To
just
the
named
Western Conference.
I just named
To the Western
three-peats.
Conference. Okay.
Two three-peats.
You just asked me what he
You
was doing.
president,
He
you
was
president
dominating
of
the Eastern
Eastern
Conference.
Conference?
Wait, hold on,
Stop
hold
it,
on,
bro.
hold on.
I just named 2 three-peats in 11 years.
Hold on.
Bobby,
So you're gonna do that while he's in the Eastern Conference?
You
Yes,
play
sir.
baseball, right?
Yes,
you
sir.
walk around with a bat. Does that make you great?
No,
Just answer the question.
no, and you can ask Mike that. And you can ask Mike that.
But he played the sport though. He made.
So does that make you a great
Yo, you know
player?
what's interesting? He did actually pretty well.
Yeah, he did.
His
did.
baseball career was not as bad as people portray, and even other baseball
in the
players
minor
have attested
league.
to this.
He was in the minor league. What are you playing to make? Even Dion was in the majors. Anything else you want to add?
Bro,
Even huh?
I didn't say the
Excuse
man was
me?
great. I said he wasn't bad.
I'm just.
And he won.
There are a lot
You know
of
what I
there are a lot of
respect
not
about
bad players in the major leagues as well.
You know why I
They
respect
made it to
Mike
the
for
major
that?
league.
You know what I respect Mike for that? Because after the tragedy that he had to endure, he still find time after retirement to do something with himself.
I
And it
respect
wasn't
that.
like, I'm gonna sit home, right? And I'm gonna cry crocodile tears, and I'm gonna blame the world. No, he went out there. He used his ability.
I respect
He
that.
went and played baseball because that's what he
respect
grew up
I
playing. That's what
respect
his dad wanted him to. His dad wanted him to
Respect.
pursue a baseball career.
Respect.
He did that out of therapy, dealing with his
Respect.
father.
Just know the truth.
That's
though.
why he did that.
Just know the real though.
Come on,
You
bro.
know
You
what I'm
fucking again. Name a decade that LeBron dominated the way I just mentioned for Jordan. You
knock it
can't
off.
do it.
I can name
Knock
a
it-
decade
knock it
he
off.
dominated.
Knock it off.
1934, right?
Here he go, man. You see
I'm
what-
waiting though. Tell
you see
me a
what it-
decade.
you see
Oh,
what
he
y'all
wasn't
do?
born then, right?
No, he wasn't born then. You see what y'all do? But
But he's an LeBron. He's an all-time great, one of the greatest ever.
One of the
He's
greatest
just nowhere
ever.
near.
and
MJ.
there's no
He's just nowhere near
Yeah, better than
MJ. But
Michael
he's a
Jordan,
great. He's
man.
one of the greatest basketball players. His the achievement he accomplished. Number one all-time winning scorer. Wonderful.
gear up, people. I just got a notification that there's a major ice and snowstorm heading for New York State. So I mean, we don't know if they're gonna hit us, but you know, just be ready. Before we sign out, listen, catch us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Mixcloud, Ustream, Roku TV, Apple TV, and Fire TV by way of Boxcast and the TuneIn app. We here. This is iAccess Radio, New World, Old Views. Listen, give them your socials. Give them your socials.
Vern the GOAT, 1386.
Wait a minute, no, you change? Oh, you changed it to
That's
that.
the new
right?
one.
Yeah,
That's the new one. Yeah.
On Instagram.
Instagram, yes.
Let them know your Facebook.
1386.
Let them know your Facebook.
Facebook is same thing.
Okay, got you.
Yeah, Instagram, Manny Laverne, MANNY, see at the bottom of the screen. Yeah, yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
New World
And
Views.
my socials are still the same. The Alasper, THE_, Alasper, ILLOSOPHER. Adam Barry on Facebook. We here, baby. Sorry we took so long, but we just rocking out, man. Keep tapping in. We need y'all. Y'all the village. Let's do it, man.
Peace
Rock
out,
out.
family.
Sorry we took so long, OG. What y'all do when y'all start talking all that shit?